Welcome, adventurers! I'm Heather Martinson, founder of Celebration Education, where we provide adventure which inspires creativity and leads to possibility. Today, I'm going to be talking about the adventures we're having in our classes this week, the fireworks you can do at home, and I'm going to issue to you a call to adventure challenge. The topic for this week is France, because Leonardo da Vinci actually spent the last 3 years of his life in France. He became friends with the King of France after the king had invaded Milan, where he was living. They met and they made friends, and the king invited Leonardo to come live not in his place, but he provided a home for Leonardo in France, and that's where Leonardo spent the final 3 years of his life. He had the Mona Lisa with him when he moved to France, and that's where he died, and that's why the Mona Lisa is in France till today. So our final topic of the week, this is the last week of class, we're talking about France. And so in class, because art has been a big part of France, or France is very well known for their art, the students worked on a large art piece together. I called it a mural, but honestly, it ended up only being about this big. Anyway, then we talked about some key points about France, some people from France, some places in France, and some events, things that happened in France. And then the students worked on what I call the Tale of Two Revolutions, which was comparing the American Revolution to the French Revolution, the similarities and the differences and the different outcomes. Then for our writing activity this week, the students looked at various French phrases and compared the English translations, or where they came from in France, or the French phrases that we use in our language. Also, each of the students were given a small notebook to collect words in. Leonardo da Vinci was a word collector, and he wrote lists and lists and lists of words. Apparently, there were new words to him, words that he was learning. And so each of the students got their own small vocabulary book that they can put all of their own words in. They could carry it around with them and put words in whenever they like. Then for the math activity, we talked about metrics because France uses the metric system, as does all the other developed countries in this world. So I had a list of school supplies named in French. The students had to figure out what those school supplies were and then to measure them both in inches and centimeters. Then for the Genius Principle this week, we talked about how Leonardo da Vinci had died, and we talked about what things that people said about Leonardo da Vinci, and then each of the students got to write something themselves, a tribute to Leonardo da Vinci. But beyond that, then we had the students look forward to 80 years from now when their lives, after their careers and they've retired and so forth, and what people would say about them and what tributes they would pay to them because of the way they lived their life. And so then they had each student wrote about themselves in their journals. Then for our big activity for the week, we held a French meal. Of course, the French meals traditionally have several courses in them. And so we had the students try out several different French courses. Matter of fact, I still have some here. Let me show you. Just because it's so cute. All right, so they started off with a French baguette, and they got to try for the hors d'oeuvre portion of the meal. That's when the French eat their escargot. I didn't have the courage to actually present real escargot to the children, so I got gummy worms and snail shells, right? So I don't know. The kids didn't seem to have a problem with eating gummy worms. Then for the cheese course, we had Camembert. Camembert is I don't know, but when we had a French student in our home, she insisted that we all try Camembert, and it's a mild cheese, so we enjoyed that. And for the dessert course, we did these chocolate biscuits. Please don't call them cookies. And also in Santa Ana, the children were treated to some chocolate eclairs. So that was a lot of fun. We talked about all the courses, but we didn't eat all the courses. Certainly, we didn't have any lamb like our French exchange student provided to our family. So anyway, then our big activity, our movement activity was miming. We talked about Marcel Marceau and how he was from France, and we showed how you can be a mime, and each of the students practiced we played charades really, where each student was given an assignment of what to act out, something that they're touching and handling without it actually being there. And so that was fun. Then as an added bonus in Santa Ana, since we were talking about escargot yesterday and snails, I actually collected some snails and the students got to race their snails. So that was kind of fun. They were looking forward to that all day. They knew it was going to be at the end of the day. In Minecraft this week, I haven't finished writing the script. We're going to do something French-ish. I'm sure the Eiffel Tower will be involved, but we are also going to be reviewing the entire year in Minecraft and taking a tour of the things that they've worked on throughout the year. So watch for that. Then and we do have a meetup at Disneyland tomorrow. At the Disneyland, we're going to be talking about Leonardo's and Walt Disney's inventions. We're going to talk about some other inventors and match them up with their inventions. And we're going to do some inventors affirmations and exercises for the students to become their own inventors. And then they're going to go on a hunt for some inventor things. So your creativity, fireworks for you to do at home this week. One of the things you can do is listen to some music from France. I don't know if you can hear the music I have playing right now. This is Alexa. I told her to play some music from France. Well, she's playing popular music that's popular in France right now. This is not exactly what I had in mind, but the children, maybe it's more classical type music from France. Write about your favorite person from France. Make up your own mime routine and see how realistic you can make it. And here's one: prepare a traditional French meal for your family. So this would be including all the courses, from beginning to end, and including the sorbet that comes between the courses. I think that'd be a lot of fun to experience that as a family, to have a French meal. So other upcoming events, we have our weekly teen hangout in Santa Ana tomorrow, Disneyland meetup tomorrow, and next week on Tuesday in Santa Ana is our closing celebration. Now, for our philosophy or practice this week, we're talking about one-size-fits-all education. So have you ever put on a shirt or some other article of clothing that says it's one size fits all and it doesn't really fit great? It doesn't fit. It's just, usually huge. Well, at least for me. Or if you've ever had something that was custom made for you or just the right size, it feels great. It looks great. It works great. The difference between one size fits all and just right is huge. But for some reason, in our country, we have it in our mind that one size fits all education is what we should have. I mean, if you think about it, if you've got a classroom of 30 students, you've got 30 children honestly, no two of them are exactly alike. They're all different. There's a whole mix of levels from delayed to advanced. And if you were to tailor make education for each of those children, you'd have 30 different education plans. And that's just one class. If think about how many classes in a school, how many schools in a district, how many districts in a state, and there's 50 states. So in the end, the number of education plans that we should have in this country is a lot more than one, right? It's kind of ridiculous that we have really one standard that all children are supposed to be compared to. And honestly, if you are using the state or national standards as the standard for your child, you're actually taking away from them their individuality, what's great about them, and you're denying your child of their true potential, because every child should be living up to their own standard, their own personal standard, and which is often higher in some ways than what the state standards are, because every child, I believe, has their own genius. But if you're going to spend all of your time working on what they're bad on, you're not going to get the chance to help them work on what they're already good at and what they're naturally gifted with. We need to help them with their gifts, not their problems. Okay, their problems will come, I promise. Those weaknesses will be strengthened when they're working in and through their gifts, I promise. So for the challenge this week is for when you're considering what program you're going to be using for your children next year, take some extra time to think about how flexible that program really is. Is it standardized? Is it Common Core? Or is it dynamic and individualized? And let me give you a clue. If it's a set curriculum, if you're getting a stack of books or doing an online program, that's not individualized. That's standardized. You need to step away from curriculum. I am a big proponent of zero curriculum, that you learn through more organic ways, basically tailoring to what your child is interested in and wanting to do right now at this moment. So, honestly, this is a whole other lecture. If you are ready and willing and really, really want to step away from a set curriculum, but you're afraid and you don't know how, talk to me. I can help you. That's how I raise my own children. It's exciting and powerful and fun. And you will love it. Your children will love it. They'll love you for it. And everything will be so much better because you'll be helping your child learn every day in everything that's around them. And your child will be learning faster and learning because he's learning in the way that he learns. And it's just so much more powerful that way. So I really encourage you to break from curriculum and do individualized learning for your children. Thank you, Judy. All right. So share your breakthrough moments with us. Message us here or message me anywhere, and let us know how things are going for you. Keep up the good work, moms and dads. I know you're doing your best for your children. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing a live stream next week or not. We've got a lot going on. Thank you, Judy. And so I may cancel this last one. And then through the summer, it's going to be sporadic. I'll schedule them here and there from time to time. Whenever I can get a chance to sit down and do one of these live streams, I'll announce it first, but just don't it won't be regular again until the fall when I'll kick it up and back into a schedule. So if you don't hear from me again next week, have a wonderful summer, you guys, and have a great time in all of your adventures with your kids and through the summer. And I'll see you again sometime. Have a great time. So visit celebrationeducation.com to learn more about what we do and to register for our adventures. I'm Heather Martinson. We're from Celebration Education, where we've been learning outside the box since 2006. I'll see you next time. Bye.